So hi guys.
Hi, it's been a long time. How are you guys doing?
Alhamdulillah. Great. How about you? How was life?
Oh, I don't know. Am I okay though?
Yeah.
Anyway, how's your old design progress? Is that okay? Is that good?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, it's all good. Usual amendments after each script.
Yeah.
What about Aliya?
Yeah, my design also good maybe.
Have you start with the models? Not yet.
For modern not yet.
Ah,
I actually have made like a quick mock-up model just to see how my form would look like, but no, not the final model yet.
wow.
But we should get started soon.
Yeah, it's like
We have few more days.
How about you,
Yeah.
Aisyah?
oh, I haven't done this side. I mean, I am still working on it. I have started, but I'm working on it.
Mm.
But the
Good,
project has not finished yet. Somehow,
Yeah.
I get bored easily.
I feel like we'll still be amending to the last breath, like it just keeps on
You ask
piling
like,
up.
Yeah.
going to be meant.
I will
So-
have to wait, inshallah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I think I have some difficulty to design my landscape. I mean to decide. Yeah. Maybe I can share. Then
sure.
you guys can give some suggestion.
Yeah, sure.
Share with us your work.
So I think this is my side one.
Mhm.
So maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I have to add some pathway or to make it interesting. Yeah, but landscaping obviously.
First thing that caught my attention that you have the 3 sites in your site plan. I think we're supposed to add only our site and also add our roof, because here you're indicating, like when I looked at it, it's very general. I think you need to specify. It's not just enough to say to verbally say you are site 1, because if you're presenting the board, I don't think that they would know which site yours is. I think it's not convenient to highlight that you are site 1, unless like you just keep site 1 and you like show the roof maybe. I think also site plan needs walkways, like pathways, pedestrian walkways, how you get into your site according to lectures, comments. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think maybe you can like add on the pathway going to from your side to the lake pathway.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that is the existing staircase of the site itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's not necessarily like maybe not necessarily. I mean, yeah, you can keep the staircase, but you can add to it. You can modify like the staircase. You can add some, I don't know, vegetation if you want to improve the landscape of the area, and show how you utilize the trees around your site, because they're just placed randomly like that. So do you want to emphasize something? You want to tell us something about your site, about the plants around your site, how you are utilizing them? So I think that would kind of have a spotlight on your site.
Maybe.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe like if I can share something about what you know about the landscape.
Yeah.
Sure.
Aliya
I really want to know.
about it.
Okay, so let me introduce you guys to landscaping. Okay. Can you guys see my slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll have you on a brief explanation of what landscaping in architecture means. Did you know that landscaping is actually like a field in architecture? It is not just like a feature on the site or something. It is a whole field that people study. But let's narrow it down by saying that landscaping is development of outdoor spaces to provide various amenities like privacy, comfort, beauty, ease of maintenance. It includes so many things like trees, shrubs, flowers, plants, any kind of greenery you are dreaming of, or sometimes like paved surfaces, rocks, pools, stuff like that. So this is one of the examples, some random pictures. You see, landscaping doesn't just correspond to environment and nature, plants and vegetation, it's also to humans. Like you can see here, the design of that place accommodates people as well as the nature itself. And here as well, using the environment and the landscape as a comfort zone for people to chill. So as I said, it refers to any activity that modifies the visible features of an area of a land, like including nature or human or abstract elements such as lighting. Maybe you want to highlight a lighting in your site. So you add some landscaping like to it, you know. So is that clear so far?
Yeah.
General idea about
Actually, I have
landscaping.
a question.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think that atrium? Atrium is like an indoor how to say that, indoor space that have sometimes have the is it tree? I don't know, but sometimes they put a landscape in atrium. Did you think that atrium is part of doing landscaping? Since what you said is that landscape is something that is outside the house, something like that. So yeah.
I think no, landscape doesn't necessarily has to be maybe outside, because let's say you have a tree, and the tree is in your attic. So you want to preserve the tree. You don't want to cut it down. So your attic will respond to the landscaping. It's like welcoming the tree. It's working with the tree. So I think yes, it does respond to landscaping. Yeah, because landscaping is all about any greenery or any like elements to highlight some features of the site or something. So you in the attic you want to highlight the tree. So yeah, why not?
What
Yeah.
about Aliya's opinion?
Yeah, I think about the atrium, it's also part of the landscaping because yeah,
Sure.
landscaping is maybe it's for, like Heba said just now, it's like in privacy space or any open space. At the same time, it have correspond to ourselves.
I see. I understand
Okay.
it.
I'm glad. Okay, so maybe you might hear the word landscape and be like, it is about trees, greenery, or all that. But no, sometimes, like we blend in our own landscaping. Like sometimes nature landscapes itself. Like I mean, you look at nature, it is a landscape, and it is these elements of nature, of Mother Nature, are called soft landscape. Like trees, flowers. But there's also hardscaping, which is used to describe construction materials. For example, decking, pathways, um, like those elements that we humans add to the environment to beautify it. You know, so like the picture on the right, you can see this pathway, yeah, blended with the nature, and on the left is a soft landscape, just a natural waterfall and greeneries and flowers.
That doesn't mean that water feature is actually a soft landscape,
Yes, yes.
even though sometimes it requires construction.
Yes, yeah. Well, right, that's right. It requires construction because, yeah, I think here it can be hardscape because it's not. It is something that we added, but I think if it's naturally there, then it would be soft landscape. If that makes sense. But if you add intentionally, like add a pathway which consists of rocks, then yes, that's definitely a hardscape.
You know.
Yeah, yeah. So while going through some landscape in architecture, I have these buildings caught my attention where you have a green roof as a landscape. So landscape isn't only at your eye level. Sometimes, it's in places that you don't expect, or like green roofs. So in order to enjoy the nature and the landscape there, it is actually on the roof. So
But
the landscaping.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I would like to ask opinions about the green roof to Aliya. Do you think that green roof will actually help you to like love the nature more, something like that?
Yeah, I think yes, because with this idea, the green roof, that we plant some the vegetable, maybe some flowers, so it also give the beautiful scenery to us. So
Right.
yeah,
Have you
maybe
guys?
also
Sorry. Go on, Aliya.
okay, and also it maybe relate to the nature, right? So yeah, maybe for me, I like nature, so it's look very beautiful and peaceful. Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's like it forms some harmony with the nature. Like the building on the right, the roof, the right part of the building, the roof is coming out of nature. It's like coming out of the skin of nature. It's peeled off. So they didn't like kind of maybe create an extra roof. Like they used the nature as an element, and when they used that, it created a landscape for their building. So that's a really good preservation of environment and nature.
Well, I'm not sure about you guys, but have you guys seen Ilya's house design, retreat house design? Have you guys seen it?
Helium.
no,
No.
I think not.
Well, if you see her design, she actually put like I'm not sure whether that one is a green roof, but yeah, I have seen her mock-up model. There's like a greenery things on
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
It's kind of nice to see. I never thought
Yeah.
Right.
doing something like that.
Yeah. I really liked it. Yes.
is it Malaysia?
Sorry,
Is it Malaysia?
is it Malaysia?
She's talking about
Uh,
Ilya.
sorry?
Her design. Aisha's talking about Ilya's design.
Yes, Ilya.
Our
Oh, yeah.
classmate.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Okay, sorry.
Ilya's design.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
actually put the green roof. I'm not sure whether that one is a green roof or just trees, but yeah, it's actually on the roof level. So I just assume that it's actually a green roof, and it's actually nice, very
I
nice.
wonder how she goes up to the roof with the like. I don't know if she's planning to have like to have it. I mean, going down to the end so that she could walk or something. I don't know, but it is really nice. I saw that.
I can't wait to see her final model.
Yeah. So innovative. Okay. So and you have to keep in mind that some architects use landscaping as to increase energy efficiency, like to decrease consumption of energy, like what is his name, the architect Ken Young. I'm not sure, maybe you guys have seen his designs. He's a Chinese Malay architect who uses like bioclimatic designs, and he blends the nature with his designs. So yeah, and like for example, these buildings, they're using the plants all over the building. It's like involved in the building, so that it provides them with natural air, natural ventilation, even for shade. So it largely reduces the consumption of energy. It's a really, really cool element to add in your designs. Yeah, you agree with that? Because I really love such designs. Like greener is just pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
Away from its functionality, obviously.
But I think it's quite hard. I mean, yeah, energy efficient architecture. I think you kind of need some, what is that called, ilmu, to like really do something like this, because yeah, we need to kind of study more about it.
Right, yeah, of course, it does require studies and how to take care of these plants, and
Yes.
yeah, it's a long story, of course, but I wanted to enlighten you with the broad landscape architecture. Yeah. Okay, so now we come to some tips. Do you guys want tips for the site, the actual site?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like it's an advertisement. If you don't know what to add to your site, I got a solution for you.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
So actually, there are 5 basic elements of landscape designs, which are color, form, line of sight, scale or balance, and texture. So we'll go through them one by one. And these are really important. So color. Color theory is often used in landscape design by dividing the color spectrum into 4 categories. That we know that there are the primary colors, the secondary, tertiary, neutral. So how do colors contribute to good landscaping? Well, since the spectrum shows a wheel is divided into 4 different categories. So landscaping uses this wheel because using this color spectrum, it provides unity, because you don't want to have a backyard, let's say, with, I don't know, just a rainbow of flowers. You might want to do so, but it's going to look so messy. Like imagine having more than 7 colors in your garden and they are placed randomly. You don't want to do that, so you have to follow like a color scheme. So yeah, you ensure unity and that it's not distracting to the eye. So a simple way to achieve unity is to match warm colors to warm colors and cold colors to cold colors. So that I think that cold colors are very saturated, but the idea is there. Cold colors doesn't mean that, okay, like blue is a cold color, but don't use all the flowers. Like don't use blue color for all the flowers. So you can blend and blue and purple and green.
It
So
will look dull.
yeah, but make sure that there is harmony, consistency, and unity. So yeah, and I saw this kind of advice. Beginner gardeners plant their favorite colors with little or no planning. Advanced gardeners use the color theory to make their plantings create mood and style. So that's a really great advice. So what do you guys think of colors? You think they're important?
Very, very important.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
Because-
as for me, it's important, but yeah, I heard that you say that we can't really mix all the seven colors in the garden, but I think it depends on the person itself, because sometimes there's a person that really like all the colors in the all the 7 colors in their gardens, like if they know how to use it well, how to use the colors well, I think it's going to be nice, because I have seen some rainbows garden and it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah, if you like colors, then probably your let's say if you want to have like plenty of colors, that is okay. But if you're building and all the surrounding looks neutral, black and white, and then all of a sudden you have these colorful plants, where did they come out of? Like where did they come from? So you have to have harmony, not between the plants themselves, but also the environment, also the hardscape, let's say, your house paint or something. So like the surrounding elements, not only like the plants themselves. So yeah, I think that there must be harmony. Just like when you place geometrical shapes together or something. Like sometimes you want harmony. Like let's say you're having a row of, I don't know, rectangles, and suddenly you have a triangle. Like why? You're building something, and then suddenly a weird element comes in. Try to ensure that there is harmony.
yeah, I
Yeah.
got your point. What about Aliya? Do you have any like anything?
So yeah, I think the color is very important, because like our side we just have the green, so many green. So maybe with the add of the colors, maybe only 3 or 4 colors, maybe it will make the site more beautiful.
Right. Yeah, and make it more.
Especially for our retreat house. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have to be constrained by like the plants around our site, or because it's all green. So yeah, of course we can add some more elements.
Yeah.
Okay. So now come to form. In landscape design terminology, form is the shape of a plant. So it comes in different shapes or forms. Plants, I mean. So upright, oval, columnar, spreading, broad spreading, weeping. So different forms. So yeah, like you don't. Let's say oval, or you see these trees, the very perfect trees. They are trimmed trees. So for example, in our retreat house, I don't think that there is a need to trim the trees to make it the perfect shape or something, because like we are taking care of these plants. We're the one responsible for them. So it's good just to leave them in their natural habitat, just grow the way they want. But I think these plants are the ones we usually see in, or like on the roads, or like in castles. Or we're not building a castle. We're not, you know. So it's
Yeah, we're building
just
a
like a backyard, a courtyard, or something. I don't think there's a huge need to do something extra. Yeah.
Yes. And I don't think all of this is like the side context.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. You guys still can hear me, right? I was playing with the mic. Okay.
Yes.
Line of sight. This is the third principle for landscaping. Line of sight is viewer's eye movement or flow being influenced by the arrangement of plants and their borders. So, you know, when you look at things, when you move, your eye just moves unconsciously, and it's affected by the way the plant groupings fit or flow together, both on the horizontal and vertical planes. So sometimes, let's say you're walking this pathway, and then suddenly you have a tree in the middle. Like, of course, your eye will be distracted. So you gotta ensure that it's a clear pathway. You're leading the viewer in a smooth journey. You're leading him like a smooth journey where there's no distraction. And if you're having a maybe, yeah, I mean, your pathway is going like this, and then suddenly there's another path going where. So yeah, the viewer is distracted. So you have to make sure that you lead the viewer to a smooth path. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one can be applied to the our pedestrian walk. I mean, the
Yes,
pathway.
right. Yeah,
This
yeah.
Especially to lead to the lake.
one. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, these are some examples, like hedges or rows of plants direct attention to a focal point or a specific area. Meandering lines or curves slow movement and create a natural undisturbed feeling. So like, yeah, these are two differences between types of like walkways. So you can refer to them in your site. Yeah, you know. So like if you, it doesn't mean that one of them is wrong and one is right. No, but if you your aim is to direct the walker slowly, and it like just for the viewer to take his time and have an undisturbed feeling, just then use the this meandering lines. But if you want to direct the viewer to a focal point, to that specific point, then use like hedges or rows of plants, like you see these plants on the sides. The first picture, the upper one, they're two plants rows. So it's leading the viewer to one point.
Well, I would like to ask about you guys' opinion. Since we have our like pathway going to our house, you think which one suits better based on these two examples, two types?
I think the first one, the rows of plants, because our site is quite hidden. Like
Yeah.
you don't notice that. So I think you want the viewer to just spot it like on spot. Oh, okay, that is a house. There is something there. But if it's a walkway, because I think there are so many walkways. So yeah, if you want to highlight your site, then I think the first option.
What about
Yeah.
Aliya?
Same as me too, because as Heba said that the site is quite hidden. So maybe with the the on the spot, the straight pathway maybe can go through to the our side. So maybe with the curve something like maybe the curve pathway, maybe it can distract, or maybe they might confusing.
Yeah,
like that.
it's like a slow process.
Sorry.
It's like you're walking there, you're meditating, but while you don't need to. Like maybe I would suggest these lines, like the second option for like going to the lake or something. Yeah, you want to have your time walking there. So yeah.
But you guys know that in my site we have actually a bamboos
Ooh.
the bamboos between the bamboos we can actually do the pathway, but I don't think it is set if we do the hedges or rows unless we want to trim the bamboos. Do you think that it is
Well, why don't you use the bamboos themselves if they're aligned? I mean, neatly, the bamboos, then you can use them. You can maybe, let's say you have two bamboos facing each other, but in between there's a gap. You don't need to have it all bamboo. Maybe have between each bamboo and the other something, and it would just like have the form. It would have its own path, natural path maybe. So I think bamboos would be a great pathway itself. It would line the pathway.
I agree.
Yeah. You don't have to cut those trees. I hate cutting trees. Just preserve them.
Yeah.
Grow healthy.
Yeah.
So scale and balance. The visual relationship of the landscape components relative to size. Equal sizes on both sides of the landscape gives balance. So as you can see in the picture, it is symmetrical. Like you have the same equal plants on this side and that side, creating a balance. But you might ask me, like, so does that mean that, like, if I have a plant on this side, I should have another plant on that side? Not necessarily. You might want to have it balanced, because scale differs than balance. Now I'll explain the difference. So balance is, you want to ensure that they both are alike, symmetrical, and having the same quantity. But scale is just like this, yeah, symmetrical or asymmetrical. So you see these cactuses, they might look like on these, I think these are tree trunks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might look symmetrical, but for asymmetrical, it doesn't have to always be balanced, same quantity. It can, the quantity might differ, but let's say they have one equal factor, which is like the size or the weight. So you don't have to necessarily have the same, like maybe two plants, but equal size of the plants, not one like larger than the other. One is really tall and one is very short. There's no harmony. So you have to make sure that there's a scale and balance. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Does it make sense?
It does, but well, I'm not really sure about this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure about this one. As I'm still very unclear.
Well, let's say you want to have in your atrium, like indoors, in your atrium, you want to plant, like let's say your atrium is, this is what I understand. Your atrium is taking a rectangular shape, and on the two sides of the rectangle, like you're having some, let's say, very large trees on this side, on the other side, very small trees or like plants. So I think there's like a balance here. Like, yeah, like have maybe small and big trees, like make it balanced, or the quantity itself. You can have big trees here, but double the small trees on the other side. Yeah, so like, yeah, kind of have some harmony.
I see.
Yeah.
I agree. But what about Aliya's opinion?
I'm not sure maybe about the balance. Maybe also for the colors for the flower, maybe it might maybe for example at the right side that we have the flowers with orange color, and maybe for the left side we have the flower with a white color. Maybe if we want to balance it, we can mix the color or something like that maybe.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to have, like, it's okay, you can have, you are wishing to have the purple flowers here, the white flowers here, it's okay, but make sure maybe they're the same height. Not one of them is very spotlighted and the other is like low-key ugly or something, just there, so you want to have an equal, and balanced like situation on the other sides. You don't want a conflict between the plants. Sure, all of them are satisfied.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Texture. Texture is the touch or visual surface quality of an object or plant. The texture of a plant's foliage or bloom can be viewed as coarse, medium, or fine. Okay, so texture, like just texture of objects, I guess. What do you guys think of texture?
I think for example the flower, maybe some flower have the bloom one, and some flowers the small, something like that. Maybe from that we can see also the texture. Maybe this flower it's grow maybe more higher, and from different colors, something like that.
Some flowers like have thorns, some don't. So yeah, texture is soft, sharp, or smooth.
As for me, maybe texture is more like the types of the trees. Maybe like the cactus have different kind of texture compared to the other trees. So yeah, that is what I get from this. And also I think the flowers also play important roles for this one as for the visual.
Yeah. Right. Focal point. So remember that all good pictures need a focal point. When you're taking a picture, you're focusing at something, some specific thing. Like sometimes you're zooming in, you want to have a picture of that specified object. So a well-planned landscape is also similar to a picture. It's an art, and it requires a focal point. Like, okay, let's say you want to have a landscape here and here and here and there, but don't you want to highlight a one focal point? Let's say. So remember, landscape is not a static picture. People will move throughout it, changing the line of sight, focal points, and balance as they move. So let's say you're having a backyard and there's a pathway. So where does this pathway lead? Don't you have a focal point you want to like lead the guests to, the visitors? Like it just leads to the unknown. So you're gonna have a focal point, a point where you want it to be like catchy to the eye, So just like this picture, it obviously tells you come and sit here. Like come and sit here, So the first thing you spot is a chair, a bench that I can sit on. So yeah, so you want to have a function of your courtyard, for example, not just like walk, okay, and then return back inside. Like just breathe fresh air and come back inside. Like if you want to breathe fresh air, you don't have to have a big courtyard and and with pathways and maybe a pond and not having a focal point. A focal point maybe I think it can be a place to chill, to sit, or it can be maybe not a place to sit, like a pond. Pond can be catchy, like people can just sit around the pond or something, or even to take pictures there or something. So yeah, I think it is necessary. It's like the purpose of the landscaping. Yeah, where does it lead to?
Yeah, I think maybe we put a statue, so maybe it also can be a focal point or something. Maybe
Yeah, but I believe that like we don't have to. I mean, in our retreat house or something.
yeah, it's not necessary.
You got to use the statue.
Yeah, I think statues are. I don't know. It's just people have different opinions regarding statues, in religion and all that. So let's not go there. But yeah, I mean,
Just for
especially
example.
in Western culture, yes, it can be a focal point. So yeah, I do agree. Aisha, anything to add?
Well, I think that what if we actually have two focal points in a landscape?
That is an interesting question. I think maybe you can, but as long as it's not distracting to the eye.
Yeah.
Maybe the distance matters between this focal point and the other, especially maybe in botanical gardens. Yes, in botanical gardens there are actually multiple focal points, but what I notice is they don't have them all together. Like you want to have a pond here and a pergola here and blah blah blah. It's very distracting. So yeah, what I noticed in Malaysia, the gardens, oh my god, they take very good care of gardens, like, and they're really big. The garden's really huge, like massive, where you just get lost in them. So there's
Sometimes.
this garden, huh?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, there's this garden in KL. It's called Perdana, I guess. I believe me, till today, I have been to that garden maybe 3, 4 times. There are few spots in that garden that I haven't been to yet, and it has like an area for like they call it birds area, or I don't know what they call it, but it's an area for like birds. There's also an area for butterflies. There's also an area for like variety of flowers. All that takes place at the same location, but different spots, different focal areas, focal points. So I think yeah, you can do so, but make sure it's not distracting, and you're not too excited that okay, I want to put this and that and this and that. You have to have a purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. I think there's one last thing, which is spaces, division of arrangement of spaces. Like you can have outdoor rooms in your site where, creating these rooms throughout the landscape provides like welcoming atmosphere, encourages movement, defines special use of areas, allows for family privacy. I actually have in my site, my plan, I have a kind of, there is a tree in my site. There's actually multiple trees. One of them is exposed to like I just plan to expose it to the outside, not instead of having it indoors. So just build a decking around it and a seating area for the family, so that and it's very welcoming. It's a private place for the family, although it is exposed to the outside, but it's for the family. So yeah, I think I'm not sure about Aisha's site whether. Do you have bamboos? I think you have bamboos in the site itself, right? In your sit back.
I have bamboos, but it's actually not on the side. It is on the boundary line.
Oh, I see.
Not that you guys the trees. I noticed that the trees is actually in this side, right?
Yeah. Like we have three trees right on the setback, and there's one kind of in the middle. So yeah.
I would like to I mean, you guys' side is really interesting, and I would like to see what you have done to the trees later on.
Yeah, we like can share and yeah, sure. It's also like multiple areas, like public area. You can have a front yard there, a family living area, just like here the outdoor rooms have a backyard for because if you have a front yard, it's like you're welcoming guests and like it's exposed, everyone can see that it's a public area. But if you have a backyard, that is just designated for the family, like for family activities. Service area, private living area, frequently quite spot located of the master bedroom. I think I'm planning to on my master bedroom. I have like a sliding door which you can open and directly like go out to the decking, and the deck just has a a seating area. So yeah, it's like a private living area there. Do you have such thing in your any of these spaces in your plans you can share with us, guys?
Yeah, maybe I can share it later when I.
Oh sure, awesome. Sure.
Yeah, I also have the sliding door at the master bedroom. So also the decking, yeah, maybe they can the view lead to the bamboo. bamboo trees, so they can enjoy the view there.
Yeah, I think we have quite the same idea.
Yeah.
It's the
I'm
same
like,
site, so utilizing it that way. Yeah. Also public area, as mentioned, like it puts the house in an attractive setting. When you have the landscaping all around the public area, the exposed areas of the house, it just welcomes. It has a sense of welcoming, and it identifies the point of entry, just like you can see in this site plan. And yes, Aliya, this is a site plan. We have like the roof, the pathways, the vegetations around. There's also this pond. Yeah, this is an example of a site plan. So, anyways, if you can see these vegetations all around the public spaces, it provides access to the entry. You can simply see where it's like it leads you very easily. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
So like family living area, as just mentioned, like you can have a backyard for that, or usually it's for where most activities take place. So let's say you want to have a backyard for and like for family to chill and maybe a specialized space for barbecue or something other than dining area inside. You can also have like table and chairs to chill there. I don't know, have any activities with the family, and also you have to ensure that it is in like an optimum location where you have very good sun and wind orientation for maximum usage. So of course, I don't think that if you have a garden and at let's say a spot that doesn't have a good ventilation, no one would be sitting in the garden. So you get the point. So you have to make sure that you have a good sun and wind orientation. That's why circulation is very important. So yeah, I think that is it. Oh, there's still two more. Like here, you can have an area for like services and utility, like a storage shed, dog house. Well, I don't know if any of you guys are planning to take care of some pets.
Yeah.
But would be
Okay.
interesting. Would be interesting, honestly. I've never thought about that in like my retreat house. But I'm not a dogs person. Like I just like cats. But oh no, a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boat storage. That is interesting. You can have like indoor like laundry space, but you can like also create some landscape around it and like private living area. These are some ideas. Usually off master bedroom for adult use. A small area for reading, coffee, meditation, or quiet reflection and conversation. Just like I mentioned, like in the master bedroom, like mine, I've used a decking, and yeah, you can sit there, chill, meditate. It may include hot tub, spa, outdoor shower, any activity you wish to have, but make sure that it's convenient. So usually screen from rest of the landscape because it is private, so you don't want to expose. So yeah, I think we're done. So what do you guys think of the spaces? It's very inspirational for me, like having a spa, an outdoor shower.
Yeah, well, actually, I kind of like get to know more about it when you present it because yeah, actually, I also have the troubles of doing the landscaping, and yeah, since you share it, maybe I have the like some of the ideas from it, and
Oh,
maybe I
that's
can try to implement it on
Oh.
my side.
I'm really glad I could help. Like,
What about Aliya? Have you like get something from it?
Yeah, lots, very lots. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe yeah, I got many knowledge from this from Heba share that maybe I can the tips that Heba shared just now, the maybe about the color, the balance. Yeah,
yeah,
it's maybe very important.
right. Yeah, I
So-
hope we all will apply this knowledge and principles in our designs so we could produce, very good work.
So yeah, I'm quite interested in your all's side plan since there's tree in the middle of your site. So
Yeah, sure. Yeah, when I finish that, when we present everything, yeah, we'll exchange like share what we have designed and everything. So yeah, you'll have a look at it. Sure. So yeah, you wanted to share your site plans. I'm excited to see that.
who first?
I don't know.
Maybe Aliya would like to share first.
No, I think you can share first.
Me? Yeah, well, I'm just gonna share my flow plan. Wait, so like, can you guys see the slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually my side, and yeah, as you can see that we do have a greenhouse on the setback line, so it's quite hard to do the landscaping. It's not hard, but this is like
It's directly facing your like the walls.
yeah, indeed.
Mm.
So and this one we have I plan to do the pathway. This is the pathway, as you can see the bamboos. That's what we have discussed, that maybe we can do the pathway between the bamboo. So I also plan to do that one. This is like going to our to my retreat house. So this is my floor plan. It's not really finished yet, but as you can see, I do have a courtyard in the middle of it, and I plan to do the transplanting the plant.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what is that?
That was
Actually,
I'm not sure.
transplanting the plant is it's actually a which is, I don't know, maybe I just say lah, I don't want to show the video, but yeah, it's actually the tree from the certain part we take it and then we plant it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the middle of it. So yeah, it's actually that one is actually a transplant the trees. I got the idea from the from Madam Yati. So
Oh.
yeah, also yeah, I do have kind of have this one. I'm not sure whether you can see. Can you see the mouse?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's actually a decking, so it is like the outside. And I plan to do the pergola.
Oh, I see.
Pergola is what is pergola. So yeah, it is part of my landscape ideas. And yeah, but yeah, I still need to do something about this boundary line as I am quite not sure about what I need to do.
You know that you don't have to fill it all, but yeah, try to yeah, use it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Especially like at your entrance, like maybe have a pathway. Yeah, with yeah, think of the plants you want to have around. Yeah. Now we have looked at some examples. You can get some inspiration, pathways, and everything.
Yeah, I get inspired a lot by that one. Maybe I can like do something about it.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah.
As for the tree, I actually propose a Philistine decipiens. It's actually a tree that is located outside our side, nearby our side. So yeah, it's actually a good tree because it is a kind of tree that provides shade. So when it is at noon, there's no like the middle of it not really hot because we have a tree in the middle of it. Yeah. So
I see. That's good. It would add a good feature to the house.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, what about you guys?
Let's see, Aliya.
Yeah.
Enough, guys.
Just share what you have done.
Yeah. So
Wish.
yeah, this is just not finished yet. I'm not colored yet, and I just proposed the pond here that here's the decking. So the pond here is to attract the people, especially from the main road to retreat house, so they can see the pond first, and maybe also this pathway that lead to the lake. Also, actually, it have the pedestrian walk here, but I didn't do that. So yeah, and this is the sorry.
The tree.
This is the water apple tree, the jambu tree.
Sorry.
The jambu tree.
Bamboo tree.
Jambu.
Oh, the jambu guava tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Guava trees. So you plan to like put it outside instead of inside the house?
Yeah, because if I put inside the house, it cannot grow well, maybe. So I put the outside so that the people also can see the trees here. Yeah.
What about
I
Heba?
love how you have the pond element there.
Yes.
It does attract the eye, especially that you're having a this kind of pathway that is like remember the second type of pathways with which doesn't have a focal point. Like along the pathway, it's like you're walking slowly, peacefully, but at the same time, before even stepping in, you notice the pond, and maybe you try to look for an entrance. Like how do I get in? So it's a nice attraction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all.
I think for the pond, like, are you willing to have like any seating around it?
Maybe not.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like at least there should be a space maybe for someone to walk around that place. I mean, like to take care of the pond or something, or maybe kids would like to have it. It's like you have it there for people to look at it but not touch it, just look at it. So I think it would add more functionality if you have, let's say like grass, just grass around it, but leave some space between the pathway and that, so that people and or like the occupants can maybe stand there, sit or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I will add. Thank you.
But overall, that's really nice. And those are those trees on the very top left?
Yeah. Actually,
What tree
that's
is that?
I'm not sure. Maybe just flower.
Oh, flower.
Yeah. So maybe you can show the arrangement of these flowers and perspectives, because I think that is also important. It adds value and yeah, to the site, the land, showing how the arrangement of your landscape.
Yeah, maybe.
What the triangle on the deck, what's that?
Which one?
No,
This one?
on the top right.
Oh, this one.
Uh-huh.
It's the ram.
Right.
Or okay, you. Whichever.
Ooh, that's good. Great.
Oh.
So I also want to share. I just found the tips for landscaping. Can I share?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Wait.
Has designing the perfect yard got you stumped? We'll show you some tips to help you develop a landscape plan to make your property the talk of the neighborhood. A good starting point is to draw a plan of your yard. Keep it basic, but include things that will remain part of your landscape, like a tall tree. Make several copies or use tracing paper as you add elements to the design. On your plan, note key features of your existing landscape, like hills, which areas get sun, and which get shade. Any privacy issues? Next, think about your goals. Do you want a place for dinner parties with friends? Need an area for kids and pets to play? Or maybe just a tranquil spot to read a book on a summer day? How about a garden? Make your wish list of current and future goals. Now start adding your goals to the plan. One way to start is to work big to small, adding the largest items to the plan first, such as a patio, deck, or pergola. Then fill in around them. Of course, keep in mind your budget and short-term goals. Just as you have a style when decorating your home's interior, use style outdoors to keep the entire property cohesive. Look to your house exterior for design inspiration. A traditional house works well with a variety of landscape plants, while a modern dwelling does best with clean lines and simple plantings such as ornamental grasses. Now let's talk about some different ideas for your plan. Plants are definitely one of the most important parts of your landscape and one of the easiest ways to define a new look. Beds with clean lines define areas and points of interest, while curves tend to look more natural. Again, think of using plants as you would decorate your house. Pick just a few colors that work together, or at least avoid lots of variation in small areas. But feel free to mix up texture and size. Layer the heights in your beds, tallest in the back, smallest up front. Keep in mind how tall the plant will be when it's mature so it doesn't grow to block a window. Here's a tip. When selecting plants, know that perennials grow back every season, while annuals will need to be planted each year. Another tip. Plantings tend to look best when they're in odd numbers. Now, along the house, consider using a bush or wider plant to soften the corners. However, keep large plants a few feet from the foundation to prevent damage from roots. If privacy is a priority, consider planting hedges as a fence, or build a traditional fence. Different styles are available to fit your preference. Just check your local codes before you install. If your property has a hill, planting on the slope is a possibility. Or you can use small retaining walls of various levels to define different points of interest. Next, think about pathways to get to the different points of interest in your yard. Solid concrete or pavers are more formal and offer defined direction. Crushed gravel is a softer alternative, and stepping stones give a natural feel to the land. Just be sure to space them as someone would step, and use a landing every few stones to create an opportunity to stop and enjoy the view. A great way to add tranquility and a touch of nature is by adding a water feature. A small pond installation not only looks nice, it is perfect for plants and fish. To add relaxing sounds and help mask noise, try a fountain. A statue or tabletop fountain is a nice option for small spaces. As your landscape comes together, consider highlighting the different areas with landscape lighting. Uplights or spotlights for trees, floodlights for beds, and path lights illuminate a landscape for nighttime enjoyment. Of course, these design principles can be used in your backyard, but also your front yard and your side yard. However, keep maintenance in mind and how much time you'll want to spend taking care of your yard. Now that you have your plan ready, head into your local Lowe's to find out which plants and flowers grow best in your area. And remember, the best landscaping tip of all is to do what makes you happy, and you'll have the perfect outdoor space to enjoy.
Oh, very good sharing.
Yeah, indeed. It's nice video. I like it.
Yeah, all your tips. Very useful.
By the way, Heba, do you want to share some? I mean, like your set plan?
Just a second.
Sure.
Because I've actually I haven't uploaded the picture of my amended floor plan too.
I see.
Yeah, because actually my site plan, my site is the same as Aliya's. So yeah, but from a floor plan, yeah, I haven't uploaded the picture yet. But yeah, I'm having the atrium in the middle of the house. Yeah. Also decking like on the right and left, on left and right, having like private spaces where we can have like backyard and all that. So yeah, but I haven't really thought much about like the pathway to the entrance, how the landscaping will look like. So after discussing with you guys and actually even the tips that I gave, I'm gonna look back into it and also add. Yeah.
Same with me.
Yeah. It was an interesting talk and topic as well. So, and very good sharing of all of you. It's really interesting and inspirational. I hope we'll apply this knowledge. And yeah,
Yeah, I hope so too, because yeah, it's a great sharing. Like both of you,
I agree.
I at least got some ideas from what I want, from what I want to put in my landscape in my site.
Yeah. I also thanks to you all because yeah, I got knowledge too from you all. Thank you
Yeah,
for sharing.
us to you all as well. So yeah, I think we can end our talk now and maybe we can work on our design, develop it more. Yeah. So I wish you guys all the best and can't wait to see all of our designs finished. You know. So yeah, hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah, I want to like anticipate. I'm really anticipating to your all's design.
Yeah.
So good luck, guys. So is that like 3 days more or 2 days?
Like officially like 3, you can say.
The
Yeah.
3 days, God.
Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah.
Well,
All the best and see you guys, inshallah.
Yeah.
see you
Good luck.
next year, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Let's wait. Stop it.